everybody, back again with another video. Hope you're doing well. Hope your life's going well. Hope this week has gone well for you, and I hope that today has gone well for you. Today is Saturday, November the 9th, 2024. It is about 8:52 a.m. Central Standard Time, and I hope that you all are having a wonderful weekend. I hope you have fun things planned, and I just hope that everything in your life is going great. As for me, I'm doing good myself. Funny story. I was actually going to make this video outside, but I couldn't because I realized that the portable power bank that I use to power this microphone was at 0%. Like, I didn't have it charged, and I didn't even bother to look at how much charge was in my portable power bank before I left and went out to go make the video. So, I had no way of powering my microphone because this microphone here, I actually have to use a portable power bank for it. Like, I can't just plug it into my phone because it won't work. It's not enough power for this microphone to work, and so I have to use a portable power bank in order to have it work. But if it's at 0%, then it's like I can't record with the microphone. And so I was like, dang. So I had to go home. Well, at first I went home, but then I was like, you know what? I'm going to make a car video. And so that's what I'm doing here, making a car video. And so let's get straight into what I actually want to talk about. What I want to talk about is why Kamala Harris lost the 2024 presidential election. As you all know, Donald Trump won the 2024 presidential election earlier this week. And I actually wasn't going to make this video. I was going to stop talking about politics, but a lot of you all want me to keep talking about politics. And so that's what I'm going to do. And it won't necessarily be all the time, but I'm not going to just stop talking about it completely. And so, here's another video about politics, right? And just so you all know, I'm somebody that really, I wasn't really excited about either candidate. I think overall the way that politics is set up, it's very divisive overall. I think that the way politics is, it creates hostility, right? Left versus right, red versus blue, right? But I talk about it because it's interesting to analyze, right, from an objective perspective. But I don't really have any biased political leanings like that. I just see where how people are thinking in general, and I kind of just give my analysis on that. I think that's the part that's interesting to me. But politics in general, the way it's set up as a system, I think it's just very divisive. And we need a political system that unites people, not divides people, right? And that's just the way it's set up, unfortunately. And so, yeah. But let's talk about some of the reasons that Kamala Harris lost the 2024 presidential election. I have 3 key reasons written down. And first reason, I have to be honest. Looking at this from an objective perspective, like I said, I'm not biased. I didn't like either candidate, right? Politics in general, right? Not a huge fan of, but I'm analyzing. When I analyze this situation with Kamala Harris running for president as a Democratic candidate, she just wasn't really that good. There were better options that the Democrats could have put out there. I honestly think if Michelle Obama would have ran, she would have done a way better job than Kamala Harris. She would have gave Donald Trump a run for his money. The election would have been way closer had Michelle Obama ran, in my personal opinion. Kamala Harris, what you have to understand about Kamala Harris is she didn't really have a huge fan base like Donald Trump. Donald Trump has a huge fan base, a loyal fan base. And understanding that the Democrats should have put somebody out there that is, likable, has, real personality, somebody that, people can gravitate toward to, right? And Kamala Harris, she just didn't really, have that about her, right? I think Michelle Obama would have did better because, people in general, they like the Obamas, Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, and that would have gave her an advantage alone because I'm pretty sure Michelle Obama has more fans and supporters than Kamala Harris. And if there was an open primary, which they should have had, Kamala Harris would have lost. I mean, let's be honest, she would have lost an open primary. And she actually had to compete against other Democrats. You have to remember, Kamala Harris lost in the 2020 election. She wasn't able to garner enough support to keep running, so she dropped out, and she became Joe Biden's vice president. The problem with her campaign as well is that her campaign was mainly centered around why Trump is so bad and evil, and reproductive rights. That was something she really was very adamant about, right? And when it comes to a campaign, that's not going to be enough to beat somebody that has such a huge fan base such as Trump, right? It's hard to really know where she stands on various different issues because she would flip-flop on certain issues. You just didn't really get a good understanding on where she stood on certain issues, right? And it was just mainly about why Trump is bad, why Trump is evil, and people kind of they kind of echoed off of that. People started saying that Trump is a fascist, or he's gonna take away all these rights and become a dictator, etc., etc. It kind of just became a campaign of why we must keep Trump out of office. And I mean, let's be real, that will get people to the polls to vote against Trump. If they hear all the stuff in the media about how bad Trump is, then in people's minds it's going to be like, okay, we have to keep Trump out of office. Trump is such a bad and evil man. We must keep him out of office. And so that's going to get people to the polls. And it did. It just didn't necessarily work, right? It worked in 2020, but it didn't work this year, 2024, Trump is back in office, right? And so that's the first reason I think she lost. She just wasn't that good of a candidate, and there was better options, right? Second reason, a heavy reliance on celebrity endorsements. Now, don't get me wrong, uh, both Kamala Harris and Donald Trump used celebrity endorsements, but the reason why Kamala Harris had to rely even heavier on celebrity endorsements is because um, she does, like I said before, she doesn't really have a fan base, so she needed to have all these celebrities out there to convince people to vote for her. And of course, also talk about why Trump is so bad and evil and all that. And, you know, that's something that is starting. I'm seeing a trend when I look out. I'm seeing a trend where that is just not going to work on people, right? Some celebrity, some multi-million dollar celebrity that more than likely got some sort of compensation to speak for you. You know, them trying to convince people to vote for this candidate, that's not going to work anymore, right? People want to vote for you because you have policies. Now, if Kamala Harris was, she had strong stances on various different policies, plus she had the celebrity endorsement, then it probably would have worked better for her. But because her the main part of her campaign was why Trump is so horrible and bad, the celebrity endorsements, they just didn't really work because it's like we didn't really get a clear cut idea on where she stood on different policies, right? So, and then of course, people, they just don't care to hear from some multi-million dollar celebrity, right? Telling some person that lives a normal life, the average working class person, who they should vote for and why. Like, people just don't care about a celebrity's opinion like that anymore. People, they don't care, right? Whether it's an athlete, some musician, or, whatever, actor. The average working class person, they can respect that, hey, they're good at their craft. They might be a good athlete, a good actor, a good musician, but that's the extent of it. People don't care to hear their opinions on who you should vote for. Like, you're a multi-millionaire, and I'm an average working class person. Like, we're not even in the same arena, right? So people don't care about what a celebrity has to say. And like I said, Trump, he did the same thing. He brought in, his team brought in these celebrities to, speak and, and tell you why you should vote for Trump. But the difference between Kamala Harris and Trump is Trump, in all honesty, he could have won without any celebrity endorsements because Trump has a fan base. People like Trump, right? He didn't really need that, right? And so that's the difference. And, I think that if Kamala Harris had a plan, plus she had the celebrities, that would have helped her. But it's just not enough. It's just not enough. And by the way, I did hear that the Kamala Harris campaign used more money than the Trump campaign, from what I've heard. Or was it they raised more money or something like that? Basically, they had more funding than the Trump campaign. They still lost. That's crazy, right? And so, the third and final reason why I think she lost is because, and this isn't necessarily Kamala Harris herself, but it's um, kind of the overall theme of some of the people on the left in general is identity politics, right? If you don't vote for Kamala Harris, you don't like women, right? Maybe you're a racist, etc., etc. Identity politics, voting for somebody because of their skin color, their gender, their religion, etc., etc. Voting for somebody because of those reasons, that's kind of something that I heard was being echoed from, media sources, right? And then and just overall, people would say in general, right? If you're not voting for her and you're voting for Trump, then you don't like women, misogynistic, racist, etc., etc. And it's like, that's not necessarily true of everybody who supports Trump. Maybe they just like Trump's policies better. Like, that doesn't automatically make you a racist or misogynistic, right? Maybe they just feel like he's better for the country. And we know Donald Trump is no upstanding human being. I don't think very many politicians are the most morally righteous, upstanding human beings. But as far as who people feel like will advance the country forward, more people thought Donald Trump would. And, identity politics worked with Barack Obama in 2008 and 2012, but it just doesn't have that same pull, right? Identity politics just does not have that same pull as it did in 2008 and 2012, right? Vote for somebody because of their gender, right? Or their race, right? Somebody calling me. The thing is, you have to actually have substance. You have to actually be somebody that people want to vote for because of your policies, not because of your gender or your race or your religion. What is your plan? Sorry about that. Somebody came by playing like loud music, but I just don't think that the Kamala Harris campaign and Kamala Harris herself really did a good job of getting people to vote for her because of her. People voted for her because they did not like Donald Trump, right? But it really wasn't about, okay, her as, her on her policies. There were some people that voted her because she's a woman and a woman of color at that. But I don't think there's a whole lot of people that would say that they voted for Kamala Harris because of her policies and how she's actually going to advance the country forward. It's mainly, you know, she's a woman and she's a minority. Um, and we can't have evil Trump back in office. That's kind of what I've been seeing. It wasn't really about what she's actually going to do. I mean, there's people that probably voted for her because they see something in her as far as her policies go. But I'm just talking about many people that, and I've seen interviews where people literally have said like they're voting for Kamala Harris because she is a black woman. And honestly, identity politics, that's not a good reason to vote for somebody at all. You want to vote for someone because of their plan on advancing the country forward, not because of skin color or their gender. So yeah, I literally saw interviews where people were saying, they are voting for her because they want to give a woman a chance, or give a minority woman a chance. And when you're talking about voting for somebody, you want to vote for somebody because they're, like I say, the best choice due to their policies, what they're gonna do, right? And that's the thing about it, right? Identity politics. It's kind of, I'm seeing a trend with identity politics where it's kind of going away as well, and that's just what it is. And so yeah, but yeah, that's my analysis on why I think that Kamala Harris lost the election. Now, the what I think that the Democrats could have did differently is, for one, put another candidate up, someone who actually has personality and is likable. Because I think they did like a study or something that showed that people vote for who they like the most. So somebody that's likable, has personality, actually has real, true policies and plans, right? And somebody who was, somebody who actually had substance about themselves. That's what they could have did differently. I'm telling you, Michelle Obama, she would have ran. She would have had a good chance of beating Trump. I honestly think that. And there's other Democrats as well that would have had a way better chance of beating Trump. But they made the mistake of kind of just inserting Kamala Harris in Biden's place without actually having like an open primary where somebody else could have taken Biden's place other than Kamala Harris. I think that's where they made the mistake at. But this is just my objective analysis on why I think that Kamala Harris lost. Sorry, my phone storage was full. But this was just my objective analysis as to why I think that Kamala Harris lost the election. And with that, I really do thank y'all for watching. And I hope y'all have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend. Thanks.